On October 28th, the quiet calm of Maple Creek was shattered for Sarah, a mother who had always believed her neighborhood was a safe haven. The sun had barely set, casting long shadows across the familiar streets, when her world began to unravel. Sarah moved from room to room, her voice echoing through the house as she called for her daughter, Aisha. Each unanswered call made the silence heavier, more suffocating. The usual sounds of home, laughter, footsteps, the hum of daily life, were gone, replaced by a chilling emptiness that seemed to seep into every corner. The house felt too still, as if time itself had stopped. The living room, once filled with warmth and light, now seemed cold and unfamiliar. Sarah's heart pounded as she realized something was terribly wrong. She hurried to Aisha's bedroom, hoping to find her there, maybe lost in a book or drawing at her desk. But the room was untouched. Her daughter's school books neatly stacked, colorful drawings scattered across the table, toys resting where they'd been left that morning. It was as if Aisha had simply vanished, leaving her world frozen in time. Then Sarah noticed the back door, standing open and letting in the cold night air. A shiver ran down her spine. Panic surged through her veins as the realization hit. Aisha was gone, and the world outside suddenly felt threatening and unknown. With trembling hands, Sarah grabbed the phone and dialed 911. Her voice shook, barely more than a whisper, as she tried to explain that her little girl was missing. Every word felt like a plea, every second an eternity. The operator's questions came quickly, but to Sarah they blurred together in a haze of fear. What was Aisha wearing? Did she have any identifying marks? Was there anyone who might have seen her leave? When was she last seen? Had she ever run away before? Sarah struggled to answer, her mind racing with worry and confusion. All she could do was picture her daughter's smiling face, the way her eyes sparkled with mischief and joy. The thought of never seeing that smile again was unbearable. Minutes felt like hours as Sarah waited for help to arrive. Finally, the flashing lights of police cars painted the house in harsh reds and blues, turning her home into the scene of every parent's nightmare. Sarah poured out every detail she could remember to the officers, her desperation clear in every word. She clung to hope, but fear gnawed at her, threatening to overwhelm her completely. Officers moved quickly, searching the property with flashlights, their calm professionalism barely hiding their own concern. Neighbors gathered outside, drawn by the commotion, their faces etched with worry and disbelief. Inside, Sarah paced the dark living room, every tick of the clock amplifying her terror. Each moment without Aisha felt like a lifetime, her imagination running wild with fear. The world she knew had vanished in an instant, replaced by a nightmare she couldn't wake from. The walls of her home, once a place of comfort, now closed in around her. The police promised to do everything in their power, but Sarah felt the crushing weight of helplessness. No words could ease the ache in her heart or the fear in her mind. As the search began, police and volunteers fanned out into the night, flashlights cutting through the darkness. Hope flickered, but it felt fragile, easily extinguished by the shadows. Clutching Aisha's favorite toy, Sarah sank to her knees and prayed, her tears falling silently. She begged for her daughter's safe return, for the nightmare to end, for just one more chance to hold her close. The night stretched on endlessly, every second a painful reminder of what was lost. The house, once filled with life, now echoed with sorrow and longing. For Sarah, a mother's worst fear had become her reality, and as the hours dragged by, she could only hope that somewhere, somehow, Aisha would find her way back home. Aisha was the heart of Maple Creek, her laughter infectious, her kindness legendary. She dreamed of being an artist, filling sketchbooks with color and hope. Her disappearance left a void, her absence unthinkable. Aisha was responsible, always following the rules. For her to vanish without a trace was terrifying. The police found a broken latch on her bedroom window and large footprints in the garden, one deeper, as if the person had a limp. These clues pointed to an intruder, not a runaway. Sarah watched as evidence was collected, hope and dread warring inside her. The safe world she'd built was shattered in an instant. The search for Aisha had become a race against time. News of Aisha's disappearance swept through Maple Creek, turning neighbors into strangers. Fear and suspicion replaced trust. Parents clung to their children. Flyers and news reports kept Aisha's face everywhere, her smile a painful reminder. Theories spread. Was it a stranger or someone close? One name surfaced. Mr. Hale, the reclusive neighbor with a limp. His odd behavior and the detail of his limp made him a person of interest. Police began discreet surveillance, balancing caution with urgency. The community's unity was fractured by fear. Every hour mattered, the pressure mounted. The search for answers grew desperate. The investigation took a dramatic turn when a crucial piece of evidence surfaced from an unexpected place: a local convenience store's security camera. The footage, captured late at night, offered a rare glimpse into the moments surrounding Aisha's disappearance. Mr. Chen, the store's vigilant owner, noticed something unusual while reviewing the tapes. He spotted a shadowy figure, hood pulled low, limping away from the direction of Aisha's house. In the figure's arms was a bundled object, moving as if someone inside was struggling to break free. The digital timestamp on the footage was unmistakable. It matched the exact window when Aisha was last seen. This was no coincidence. It was a vital clue. Police officers rushed to the scene, gathering around the monitor. The video was grainy, the images blurred by darkness, but the limp was clear and distinctive, a detail that couldn't be ignored. The sight of the figure sent chills down everyone's spine. Though the image was unsettling, it finally gave the investigation a concrete direction, a lead to pursue. The footage left little doubt. This was an abduction, not a runaway. The evidence was now undeniable, shifting the entire focus of the case. Forensic experts immediately began working to enhance the video, hoping to extract more details. Perhaps a clearer view of the suspect's face, or a clue hidden in the shadows. Investigators compared the suspect's limp to footprints found near the scene and listened to community tips. The physical traits matched, strengthening suspicions and narrowing the list of possible suspects. For Aisha's family, watching the footage was a torment, each frame a reminder of her ordeal. Yet, it also brought a glimmer of hope, proof that she was taken, and a chance she could be found. With this new evidence, the police mobilized quickly. The search intensified, urgency mounting with every passing second. Now, they had a trail to follow, and they wouldn't stop until they found her. The shadow on the screen was no longer just a blur. It had a face, an identity waiting to be uncovered. The race was on to find the person behind the shadow and bring Aisha home. With the crucial CCTV evidence in hand, detectives shifted their focus squarely onto Mr. Hale, the quiet neighbor who had always kept to himself. The footage had revealed more than just a shadowy figure. It hinted at secrets lurking just beneath the surface of his seemingly ordinary life. Detectives Miller and Garcia approached his neglected house, the tension between them almost palpable. The sun was setting, casting long shadows across the cracked pathway, and every step toward the door felt heavier than the last. The air was thick with anticipation and unease, as if the house itself was holding its breath. Mr. Hale answered after a long pause, his face pale and his hands trembling slightly. He stood in the dimly lit doorway, eyes darting nervously between the detectives, his posture defensive and wary. Inside, the detectives questioned him about Aisha's disappearance and the noticeable limp he'd been seen with. Mr. Hale's responses were clipped, his tone defensive, and he avoided eye contact, fidgeting with his sleeves as he spoke. Every answer seemed carefully measured, as if he was afraid of revealing too much. He claimed ignorance, insisting repeatedly that he'd been home all night, alone. His voice wavered as he denied knowing anything about Aisha, his hands raised in a gesture of innocence, but his eyes betrayed a flicker of fear. As the conversation continued, Detective Miller's gaze was drawn to a heavy, padlocked door at the end of a dark hallway. The door looked out of place in an otherwise ordinary home. Its presence was unsettling, and the large padlock seemed to guard more than just a storage room. The detectives pressed Mr. Hale about the locked door, their questions growing more pointed. But Mr. Hale's agitation grew. His voice rose and he refused them entry, insisting they had no right to open it without a warrant. His defensiveness only deepened their suspicions. The sight of the locked basement combined with Mr. Hale's panic raised every red flag for the detectives. Something was being hidden. Something that could be the key to the entire case. Reluctantly, the detectives left the house, but their suspicions had hardened into certainty. They knew they were on the verge of a breakthrough, and every instinct told them that time was running out. Back at the precinct, they immediately contacted the district attorney, laying out the mounting evidence: footprints matching Mr. Hale's shoes, his unexplained limp, the incriminating CCTV footage, and the mysterious locked door. The case was coming together, piece by piece. An emergency search warrant was requested and granted within minutes, the urgency of the situation clear to everyone involved. The judge's signature was the final green light. The police force mobilized with a sense of purpose, officers gearing up and squad cars racing through the city streets. Every second counted, and the entire team moved with a shared determination. Outside, the community gathered in small groups, neighbors whispering anxiously on their porches. The neighborhood was gripped by fear and hope, everyone desperate for answers. All eyes were on the locked basement door. Detective Miller's hand hovered over the cold metal lock, heart pounding, knowing that the truth, whatever it was, waited just beyond. The detectives prepared themselves, donning tactical gear and sharing a tense, silent look. They braced for what they might find, aware that every moment could make the difference between life and death. The nightmare that had haunted the community was reaching its climax. The flashing police lights painted the house in blue and red, a beacon of both dread and hope. Hope and dread mingled in the night air, as anxious faces peered through window blinds, waiting for the outcome that would change everything. With a crash, the police broke open the locked basement door. Detective Miller led the way, flashlight cutting through the darkness. The search for Aisha was about to break wide open, and the truth at last was within reach. The search warrant arrived swiftly. Police and a tactical unit surrounded Mr. Hale's house. The front door was breached. Officers swept through the rooms. All eyes turned to the padlocked basement door. Bolt cutters snapped the lock, revealing steep stairs into darkness. The air was thick with fear and anticipation. The team descended, flashlights cutting through the gloom. Somewhere below, hope flickered. In the basement's darkness, Officers heard a faint, rhythmic thumping. They froze, listening, then called out for Aisha. The thumping stopped, replaced by a small, desperate voice. "Help me!" Officers rushed to the sound, finding Aisha huddled behind boxes, hands bound but alive. Relief and emotion swept through the team. They freed her, wrapped her in a blanket, and led her into the light. Outside, Sarah ran to her daughter, their embrace a moment of pure relief. The community's prayers had been answered. Paramedics checked Aisha as police searched the house. Mr. Hale was found hiding upstairs and arrested without resistance. The evidence was overwhelming. The monster had been unmasked. The nightmare was over. Aisha's rescue brought Maple Creek to tears. She was exhausted but safe, her spirit unbroken. The reunion with her mother was a moment of hope and healing. Mr. Hale was led away in handcuffs, the truth finally revealed. The community's relief was immense, but so was the shock. Aisha's bravery and the police's determination had saved her. The town would never be the same, but light had returned after the darkness. The truth emerged. Mr. Hale had planned the abduction, watching Aisha for weeks. He broke in, took her, and hid her in his basement. But Aisha never gave up hope. She used a loose board to signal for help when she heard the police. Her courage led to her rescue. The community learned evil can hide behind familiar faces. Safety became a priority. Trust was rebuilt with vigilance. Aisha began to heal, supported by family and therapy. She grew into an advocate for missing children, turning trauma into hope. Aisha's light, once nearly lost, now shone brighter than ever.